So they're trapping in the park, guys. Apparently they're gonna start trapping coyotes again. I just found out 2 days ago they have all sorts of trapping spots. Can you believe they're gonna trap them again, guys? They didn't even let people know. Like, we have dogs in here. What do you guys think about that? And for myself, I am fine with them trapping them and learning more about them. But what I'm not fine with is them not letting us know. So I'm fine with them trapping, learning more about these coyotes, because they need to learn more. But I felt for many years that they didn't know how many coyotes were in here. They didn't know where they were living. They didn't know where they were going. It's only been the last couple of years that rangers have been in here where it actually feels like they're maybe trying to understand how many coyotes are in here. Guys, what I'm really upset about is they didn't let anyone know. There's no signs, nothing in the media released. We only found out because somebody did a Freedom of Information request and then they released it to the media. So that's not cool. Like, people bring dogs in here, people walk in here. You know, I'll show you the map of the potential places and it's all over the park. They're like, oh, it's well away from anybody walking on the path. But they don't know where people walk here. They don't know that people come in these paths. Once, many years ago, I had a ranger tell me I shouldn't go in here because there's homeless people in here. Every day I see more normal people and regular folk than I see homeless people in this park. They don't know what's going on. But they're gonna have leg traps, they're gonna have neck traps. It's gonna be like a regular trapping fest in here, guys. And I'm not for that. I have a lot of friends who come in here with their dogs. Even me, I let Bo off leash. Like, what if he gets into something, right? And they say, hey, they're safe, you can take them off if a dog gets trapped, but that's not good enough. Why didn't they let us know they were doing that? I'm not impressed with the park board. I never have. I'm not one for saying, hey, abolish them because of this. I've felt like they're useless for many years. It's a place where people start a political career. They have no aspirations to actually create proper park space. They don't know what a park like this deserves. Some of you might not know, but Stanley Park is actually a Parks Canada space that City of Vancouver gets to run by a lease. I don't think they deserve this gem. Do you? Why are they trapping these coyotes, guys? Well, a few years ago, coyotes started causing problems in the park. At first, they would just start chasing people. Then, they started nipping people. I estimate there was probably 20 to 25 coyotes at that time. And after a small child was bitten, the city decided enough's enough, and they needed to do something about it. So, with the help of the Conservation Office and some other organizations, they set up a bunch of traps, and they trapped at least a dozen of these animals. Did it help? Well, as somebody who's in the park every day, it certainly made a difference. There were times when we had 2, sometimes 3 coyotes following us. Now guys, we had a big dog and 2 adults, and these coyotes would still follow us. So you can see why we haze the ones that we see now, right? We don't want anything to do with them. So you can see why earlier I was somewhat a supporter of trapping them. Now I'm not for trapping them and killing them, but I am for trapping them and, you know, putting tags on them, starting to, you know, monitor them, see where they travel in the park. What are they doing? Now, a couple years ago, yes, sadly, they probably had to remove a few of them as these were real trouble coyotes. And I agree with that. Do I support them just trying to relocate them? In general, I am. I wish they did that for every bear out there. Coyote, however, they did what they did. I'm not going to get into it too much, but I just wish they managed these things right from the start, because then they probably didn't have to kill any. They have never had a proper wildlife management plan, and that has really hurt the ecosystem here. And some of these coyote attacks, they were even on the seawall, guys. Now, lots of them were early morning or late at night. So, you know, you always have to be smart when you come to the park. But the coyotes at that time, guys, were out of hand. It was getting to the point where we were seeing a coyote every single walk, guys. Every single walk we came in here, we were seeing at least 1 coyote. And like I said, sometimes 2 or 3. Now, can you imagine walking down a path and looking behind you and you see 2 or 3 coyotes following you? You know, it's not for the faint of heart, guys. Now, fortunately, we spend a lot of time outdoors, and so we're used to seeing wild animals. So we don't let these guys get anywhere near us, and we know they're scared of us. And once one of our dogs start to bark, they run. But scary nonetheless, guys. So if you guys remember that tree from a few weeks ago, it looks like the Parks Board has finally cut it up. So it's a little safe to go under. You don't have to walk underneath and think it's gonna fall on you. Hale, stop. She's flossing herself, guys. So what do you guys think about trapping coyotes? Do you have coyotes where you're from? Do they cause problems for you guys? Why don't you let me know in the comments? So first and foremost, I wish they didn't kill any animal. That is my belief, and I truly wish they didn't harm any of these coyotes. That said, some of the things they had to do, guys, were necessary for the greater good of the population around here. Now that really hurts me to say that, because we encroach on so much wildlife lands. We take over their homes. But coyotes, you know, they came with us across the continent, guys. They weren't here before us. They might have been on the East Coast before us. You guys see that? What a character, eh? Never a dull moment there with a coonhound. So yeah, they may have been on the East Coast, guys, but they followed humans all the way across. And you know what? I think it's what's best for the park that they maybe remove a couple. And so that's what they did a few years ago. But I'm not sure trapping and killing the current coyotes is the actual solution. I hope they trap them, tag them, monitor them, and maybe only let the population get so large in here, guys. Now, like any animal and any outdoor space, it can only support so many animals. Stanley Park can only probably support maybe 5 to 10 coyotes, no more, guys. And I don't know what the perfect number is, but this is why I've been a big supporter of having a wildlife management plan, guys. Because if they have a wildlife management plan like they have in a lot of our national parks, then maybe we can get a better handle of the wildlife in here. Maybe we can protect it more. Maybe we can understand it more. There is so much we can do that is better than killing defenseless animals, guys. Come on, let's do better. Now, one of the things that helped the coyotes get out of hand, guys, is they were getting fed by people. That's right, they were getting fed by people. Not just, you know, locals, but tourists, and then even homeless people, guys. Unfortunately, there's quite a few homeless people in the park, and they do leave a bit of mess. Now, it's not homeless people that are 100% the cause, guys. I would say it's split between homeless people, local people, and tourists. Honestly, people just don't know better. You should not be feeding wildlife. You should not be feeding coyotes. Honestly, guys, you should not be leaving food in a forest. You know, sometimes even when we're at Lost Lagoon, right in front of a sign that says, "Don't feed the wildlife," people are feeding the birds. They're just tossing them bread. Guys, birds don't need bread. You're hurting them. Up and over that bridge, girl. Good job. Hey, bud. Good job, Al. Which way do we want to go, guys? That way? Or do we want to go that way? What do you say, big guy? Oh, you're so cute. And it looks to me like they have over a dozen potential trapping sites. Now, take a look at this map, guys. You can see these are all potential sites that they want to trap at. That seems like a lot. And again, knowing where these coyotes are, guys, I don't think they know where they are. Maybe I should reach out and tell them my dogs know where these coyotes are. Not so bad in the park today though, eh guys? These guys don't seem to mind it. At least it's not raining. That Pineapple Express we've got the last few days, holy. Lots of rain has come down. It's never fun, but we deal with it anyways, guys. But whew, it was like taking a shower. Those Pineapple Expresses, they bring a lot of rain. Look at this big tree, guys. It's like a big little divining rod there, you know? Look at that. Pretty neat. One big tree into two. Ella's being a little impatient. She doesn't like it when her dad stops. So should we keep going now? Let's go, girl. But yeah, I just wish they were up front with everybody. I just wish they put signs out letting everybody know that, hey, we're thinking about doing this. Maybe get some feedback. It's not that people are opposed to it. People just like to be informed. We don't like governments not telling us what they're going to do, guys. Nobody does. We expect transparency from those that we elect, nothing less. But what if somebody didn't stumble upon this plan? Were they just going to wait until somebody's dog or a person got hurt and then let us know? They need to do better than that, guys, and we need to expect better than that. You know, I don't think I've come across any sort of city park, regional park, provincial park, national park, state park down in America that so terribly lets people know about the wildlife in the park. There's no communication. There's not enough signage. They are not letting people know what wildlife is here, what to do. You know, they don't tell people anything, but they've never practiced proper wildlife techniques in here. No hazing, no anti-food campaign, nothing, guys. Nothing like you'd see in our national parks. You know, it's terrible. But you have tourists feeding coyotes, guys. It's a phenomenon worldwide. You only have to look at TikTok and YouTube and you can see for yourself, why are people going up to wildlife? It is crazy. And as I said earlier, I'm not a big fan of the Parks Board. I never have been. I've never seen the use of it. I never believed that they're actually doing what's best for Vancouverites and the parks. I always feel like they're pushing their own agendas through. I don't even feel like these park board commissioners actually use parks, get out and about and see the parks, maybe have even looked at other jurisdictions and checked out their parks. I believe that they just don't know anything about the Park Service or about regional or city parks. I don't feel like any of them are there to actually make parks better. I feel like they're there to start a political career, get the ball rolling, and maybe collect a tiny little bit of money on the side. That's what we need. We don't need more politicians, guys. We need more for all of us. Right, Al? She says right, guys. Hey, and any money we can save from getting rid of the Parks Board, maybe we can invest in parks. They always say they don't have enough money. And there's a lot of little things they do wrong. You know, during COVID, guys, they bought all these bear bins. They installed maybe one or two of them. Then they got rid of them. And for the last 2.5 years, guys, they've been sitting in a parking lot by the RCMP stables. That's right. Right by the train, guys. They have about maybe 10 bear bins just sitting there, not being used, guys. Why did they buy them? Why did they spend the money on them for them to sit in the back of a parking lot, never to be used? Maybe we wouldn't have all the garbage problems if we had actual garbage cans in here, guys. Hey, Parks Board, why are the bear bins in the back of the parking lot? You know, and maybe it's wishful thinking that we could have a park that manages its wildlife, that people can be safe in, that kids can play, that dogs can play, that you're not worried about being attacked by a random, typical animal you would see in a city. This is not normal. This park deserves so much better, guys. Maybe the Parks Board should just hire these guys. Hey, Bo? Yeah. Why don't you tell them where the coyotes are, pal? Should just follow you for a walk, right? Look at this. Wiggle, 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 wiggle. Good job, pal.